What's going on, Pittsburgh?
We stopped at the City County building for their Black History Month event in the beginning of February, where they had an exhibit and event in the lobby of the City County building all of the month of February.
This year, the city of Pittsburgh celebrates Black History Month with a salute to the VASHON family. Everybody say VASHON. Say it loud and proud, VASHON. There you go. We are going to salute the VASHON family, highlighting the enduring legacy of abolitionists and activists of the 1800s. Now, this family, which settled in Pittsburgh in 1829, is one of the most important families in the city of Pittsburgh during the building of our nation. You probably didn't know that, right? And their impact continues to motivate contemporary movements for justice and equality.
And today we have a very special family that we are honoring, and that is the VASHON family. And a lot of people probably don't know this history, and we were reading up on it today. Just don't want to knock him over. But John VASHON was clearly a pioneer, was a small business owner, a conductor for the Underground Railroad, founder of the Pittsburgh Anti-Slavery Society. He established the first black school for children in the city of Pittsburgh. And here in Pittsburgh, we know that our history is steeped in families and tradition. And this is one that is an anchor in our city. John's family carried on his legacy, which you can learn about throughout this exhibit. And we are actually honored that this summer, there is going to be a historical plaque from the state of Pennsylvania that will be displayed right here in downtown. On behalf of the city of Pittsburgh, today we have proclaimed February 6, 2026 to be the VASHON Family Day in the city of Pittsburgh. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think I'll step back. Hi, I'm Paul Thornell, the great-great-great-grandson of John B. VASHON. Oh, it's so special. At an early age, my grandmother, Frances VASHON Atkinson, told me stories about her ancestors, my ancestors, and the most notable thing beyond just being related to these individuals was their incredible accomplishments. John B. VASHON, my great-great-great-grandfather, was a leading businessman in Pittsburgh in the 1820s to the 1850s. And his son, George B. VASHON, grew up here. Both of them really served as active members of the Abolitionist Crusade, conductors on the Underground Railroad in Pittsburgh, where escaped slaves would come through their home at 3rd and Market Streets. During the day, it would be a place where whites and blacks would get their barber needs tended to, and at night, freed slaves or escaped slaves would be coming through. And George B. VASHON grew up here, went on to become one of the first black college graduates, one of the first black college professors, and one of the first black lawyers. Well, at an early age, I got to appreciate the extent to which education in particular was something that the VASHONs valued and really focused a lot of their time and resources around. There wasn't a lot of money necessarily that was in the VASHON household, but the money that was there went to help escaped slaves, but also education of John B. VASHON's children, and George B. VASHON and his, and on down. And that certainly instilled in me at an early age the importance of education, but also of service. When you see so much of what John B. VASHON and George B. VASHON did, they advocated and advanced the crusade that they were involved in the abolitionist movement in a variety of ways. George B. VASHON was a lawyer, college professor, writer, and certainly active in many ways in the abolitionist movement. And so looking at the multidimensional contributions of both of them is just exciting, but it also tells a bigger story about how blacks throughout history have had different ways being denied direct channels, often through politics when they couldn't be elected to office or couldn't get law degrees. They had to find other ways and break down the barriers, opening up for them and others. Well, I think there are so many individual depictions of the path that George B. VASHON followed, and John B. VASHON, his father, in Pittsburgh here and around the country. And there are certainly a lot of tidbits that I think are reflective of so many stories that aren't necessarily known and told, whether it's the VASHON family or other black Americans who oftentimes don't have a spotlight put on what they've done in terms of their contributions. We know the bigger names, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, who absolutely have certainly tremendous historical significance to this nation, but the VASHONs and many other Black Americans who aren't necessarily household names have done a lot to make sure that the generations that came after them have opportunities and that the trajectory of the nation that they were living in at the time changed for the better. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, I have to say the exhibit itself, Mayor O'Connor, Christine Wispel, Mary Beth Mueller, it takes a lot of time to do these exhibits, and I'll just say it's very intentional, the time that went into it to do what was necessary to help tell the VASHON story. So not to be too basic, but the fact that the exhibit is here itself, it shows that people are intentional, that there's a commitment on the part of this city to demonstrate the importance of the history here and the VASHON's role in it, and the importance of telling that story. Well, I think one thing I would tell is find the oldest person in your family and ask them, where do we come from? Who are people you remember, whether it's a grandparent like I did with my grandmother. I asked her to tell me about our family, the stories. It's a very simple act, but it's one that certainly can connect people across generations, and you never know exactly where it's going to lead.